Hey, what's up you guys? Shartimus Prime here on the Russology YouTube channel. Yes, I've changed the name from Shartimus Wank to Russology, and that's just because I want to confuse less people. Yeah, I've looked at your guys' feedback, and the Shartimus Prime and Shartimus Wank are very similar, especially because they have the same first half, so, or more than first half anyway. So it's called Russology. This channel, if you're new to this channel, it's not necessarily intended for all ages, alright? So, you know, you expect some dialogue here that's maybe inappropriate for younger viewers, alright? However, not all of it will be, but if you're, I don't know, like under 14 years old or something like that, may not be for you. No, I'm just making up like the age limit. 13, 12 or 13, about 13, 14 years old. If you're younger than that, then this is really probably not the channel for you. Or maybe older, because of the way things are nowadays, you know what I mean? The thick skin, it takes a lot longer and longer for this younger generation to build up thicker skin, I think, right? I don't know. And what does Russology mean? Well, Russology is, hey, I'm Russ, and I have my own beliefs on all kinds of things, as far as whatever you want it to be. Politics, religion, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get into all that stuff. However, it will be touched on a little bit, so if that stuff is sensitive to you, then you must get the fuck out, because I will be mentioning my personal beliefs. However, one thing that may be a sigh of relief for you is that my personal beliefs are that of my personal beliefs and not necessarily the personal beliefs of an organization. Thus, the Russology is my personal organized religion. It's what I want it to be. Because guess what, man? Everybody else is fucking doing it. Everybody else is doing it. Everyone's just making up their own damn shit, you know? You got these books and, you know, you got the Bible and people just take this and that, or you got another book, or did they take this and that? I mean, there's so many religions out there. You might as well just make up your own, man. What is it? They call it agnostic or something? It's actually like its own thing, but whatever. On to this vlog, and enough with the damn introduction. If you're still here, thank you. Okay, Mother's Day and the beginning of my YouTube channel. I may change the title to Mother's Day and the Shartimus Prime origin story, or I'm not sure. But anyway, getting into this story, because we just had Mother's Day, and I enjoyed Mother's Day very much. I actually felt like I kind of had two Mother's Day. On Saturday, I had dinner with my grandmother, and I am half Hispanic, half white. My Hispanic side is Nicaragüense, Costarricense, alright? And my white side is actually Maltese and of Scottish descent. My Maltese side is, Malta is actually a small island very close to Italy, so that's why I have this gorgeous schnozzle that I like to call. So anyway, then the round part is the Tico side, so there you go. Alright, anyway, getting back onto the point, abuelita in Spanish means grandmother, okay? So went to go visit abuelita, and my tias, my aunts were there, and my tío Mario was there, my parents were there. My cousins didn't get to make it, but I was there visiting and everything, so that was cool. My grandmother loves pizza. She loves Bravo's Pizza in Geneva. So we had Bravo's Pizza, and my grandmother, and I'm just going to say this right now, it's kind of funny, because she always reminds me, I didn't grow up in San Francisco, but in a way I kind of felt like I did a little bit, because for many years, my grandmother would pick us up from school and take us into the city to her place, and then when my dad would get off of work at around like 8 o'clock or something, when he'd get home late, he would pick us up and then take us home. So, and just one thing about this mother, and then on Mother's Day, my mom had a lunch and everything with my grandmother again, so we went out to this Japanese restaurant and had sushi, and then we went to go watch Captain America Civil War. So I took my parents to go see Captain America Civil War. My mom really liked Ant-Man a lot, so my excuse was, oh, she loves Ant-Man, I love the giant man, Ant-Man in the movie, so she's gonna like this movie. And she did love the movie. She really likes the superhero movies a lot. My dad does too, but my mom really catches on to it. She really digs it. She thinks the humor and the fighting is funny. my mom has a younger brother who unfortunately isn't with us, but she used to take care of my younger uncle a lot, and he was really into kung fu and Bruce Lee and stuff. So I'll do a Bruce Lee figure review later today on the Shartimus Prime channel. Anyway, I'll mention that again there. But so she watched a lot of the action stuff. So there's some TV shows where there's like a lot of fighting that my mom used to like to watch with us, like Power Rangers. My mom used to really like to watch Power Rangers because of the fighting. So we really enjoyed the movie and everything, and yeah, and she had a good time and just hung out a lot and everything, and got my mom a bunch of roses and stuff. And so one thing I wanted to say though was how the origin of this YouTube channel and how my parents have taken on YouTube as a full-time gig. Because you'd have to understand that, you know, it's a ludicrous job, right? Especially with all these, with the P word and all that stuff going on. And by P word, you should know what I mean, because I don't want to upset anybody if you ever talk about that, because they're going to get really mad at you. But, no, not really, you know, I'm not really concerned. But, so my mom wanted me to get into a similar line of work that she was into. That's what she wanted for me, which is fine. Now, my mom is a civil engineer. My dad is an electronic engineer. So I didn't grow up, you know, learning from the school of hard knocks. I wasn't raised by the streets, yo. No, definitely not. Grew up mostly in Pacifica. But I did have, you know, like my grandmother taking us... one thing I love about visiting San Francisco, and that's probably why, is that my grandmother would take care of us and drive us into the city, and then they would drive us around to Fisherman's Wharf or the Mission and just different parts of the city, and you know, and I always liked doing that. So in a way, I felt like, you know, at a young age I grew up over there, but really for the most part I grew up Pacifica, suburban boy, definitely not you know, from the streets. All right, so very fortunate situation. Parents wanted me to go to college. If you have parents that are willing to pay for you to go to college, take it, goddammit! Go do it! Do it! Do it! Just do it! Seriously, it's free college, man. At the time, I didn't really totally understand how fortunate I was to have parents that are like, no, we're gonna pay for you to go to college. Yeah, live here. Don't worry about the rent. Just go to the fucking college. And at the time, I just was like, why do I have to go to fucking college? I want to play drums. I just want to play drums. And they're like, no, you can't just do drums. You gotta go to college. And I was like, look, alright, I'm just gonna trust that you're right with this shit, and I'm gonna do the stupid fucking college then. Hopefully, if you have the opportunity to go to free college, take it. There's a lot of people that work very, very hard to not get free college. You know what I mean? People working like 3 jobs and going to college and everything. Not that I didn't work while I was going to school. Actually, I worked quite a bit. I was very, very active during my college years. It's just going to the classes sometimes was really hard. All kinds of stupid shit, especially when I was going to junior college. I went to junior college first, and then I graduated with a bachelor's degree in urban studies and planning from San Francisco State. So the junior college years were really tough. Once I got into the actual university, then I was just studying really hard and, you know, getting all that stuff done. And mostly got through college via public speaking, because a lot of teachers liked my presentations when I would talk about stuff. And hey, wow, what a big surprise. So anyway, I had gotten my degree, gotten a government job, gotten another government job, and then I had gotten laid off. And it was a really weird way of getting laid off. It's not like I didn't do anything wrong. They literally had budget cuts, and they had I was actually a temp for a governing agency for almost a full year, and they had created a full-time position for me, and then ended up giving it to a secretary downstairs, because at the time they said they couldn't have any new hires. They had to hire within the company, and I was technically not part, or in the organization. I was technically not part of the organization because I was a temp for that whole time, which really sucked, because they even gave me a raise while I was there, and gave me a higher paying temp position because I was doing so well. So that sucked, and I was really bummed out, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Gotta look for another job. And while I was also looking for another job, I figured out, hey, YouTube videos. You know, I mean, I'd been watching YouTube videos like throughout 2007 and 2008. At the beginning of 2000, end of 2008, I posted up a video. Beginning of 2009 is when I lost a job. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna post these videos, and I saw Century Productions posting these videos too, and I was like, oh, you know, I want to post my videos up there also. So that's really how the Sharpness Prime YouTube channel got started. Was me doing that. It was me losing the government job and just putting the time into it. And I had gotten another job at a solar company and at a warehouse and Hot Topic and Subway, all kinds of other jobs during the period of me not being able to live off the YouTube, but me working and grinding and trying and telling myself, look, you're not an idiot. This is gonna go somewhere. You're gonna be able to live off this shit soon enough. Just keep going, man. Just keep going. And putting my parents through that, I feel like was kind of tricky because like they're supportive, but at the same time, it's like a little bit, now what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, did you understand that? Like, okay, that's cool. No, and we appreciate your hobby. It's a good hobby to have, but like, so say what the fuck? Like, you want to live off of making the videos talking about toys? It's such a ridiculous concept, man, and such a beautiful thing that it actually exists. So, my dad actually. I want to say my dad was actually more understanding towards it first, but my dad was already into the hobby of broadcasting and stuff, so I'm not too surprised. But on the other hand, my mom, her being the civil engineer and being a plan check engineer, and then seeing me getting into city planning, she was very, very happy and proud. There's actually some plans that were approved by both of us, which was a trip. So when you take, if any architects out there, you know, when you have your plans, you take them to the city and they have to go through the planning department and they sign it off, and they go through the building department, make sure they follow all the building codes. Well, I had to, you know, scale the plans and measure things out and make sure that it followed all the local ordinances, and I signed it off. And then my mom, and then it actually ended up going to my mom, and she went and then she reviewed it for the building code, and she had signed it off. But even though we didn't work in the same place, my mom actually worked for a separate firm outside from where I was working, so it was kind of a surprise to see like our signatures on the same set of plans, which is kind of a trip, or on the same permit anyway. So I always felt like just a disappointment getting into this, because I really saw how happy that she got that I got myself involved in a similar line of work as hers. And I think it's just taken my mom a little bit longer to understand it and everything. But she always liked the videos. Whenever I show my mom a video, like, hey mom, here, watch this one. I worked really hard on this one. It's called the Marvel Legends Collector documentary. And then I show it to her. She loved it. She got a kick out of it. And as I mentioned before, I actually really have been making videos my whole life. Ever since I think about 7 years old, 8 years old, something like that, I've been making YouTube videos, or not YouTube videos, but home videos and stuff. So they always get a kick out of that stuff and everything. So I want to say it's not until like the past year or two where I felt like my mom really understood it and everything. And I don't know, I've always been a people person, or not always been a people person really, but always been tried to be a people pleaser, and trying to please my parents has always been something that has been important to me, as it should be to most kids. You don't want to disappoint your parents, right? Especially if they hook you up with the free college, right? So yeah, so it's, and I think the part where she really started to understand it is when she really got an idea of how many people were watching, and she realized, oh, this is how many people you're watching. Oh, this is the stuff they send you to review, and you don't have to pay for all of this. You know what I mean? And then her head started to understand. She's like, oh, okay, well, they should be paying you more. And then she gets really defensive. Hijo, no, they should be sending you that. She's like, you shouldn't have to buy any toys. You know how many people are watching you now? They should send you everything for free. I'm like, well, I get a lot of stuff for free, Mom, but like still, you know, some companies don't really do that. She's like, yeah, but you're giving him all this advertisement, then they should pay you. Then every time you make one of those Marvel videos, they should pay you. How many Marvel videos do you have? You should get paid. And I'm like, hey, that's a pretty good point. It's free advertising, but however, nobody asked me to do it, so I can't really go to, hey Marvel, hey, I got 100,000 views on that Spider-Man video, you know, like, well, where's my cut, bro? Where's my cut? You can't do that, you know what I mean? It's kind of ridiculous, but as the mother, I can understand how she would say something like that, so very cute. anyway, but now my parents are supportive of it. They understand the difficulties of it, but they understand also that I'm very hardworking, and me doing the teaching thing makes them very happy. My mom was incredibly supportive towards my music career, and that's separate from the YouTube thing, but the music, she really was all for me taking drum lessons, and she really wanted me to do it right. She's like, if you're gonna study, if you're gonna take music seriously, because when I was going to college, I was studying music like crazy. Dude, I would take classes from the day from like 9 to 1 p.m. and then stay in the music room from 1 p.m. all the way till the night classes at 7 p.m. until they'd kick me out. So I was practicing 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then either going to a job where I had a night shift or something, or working or study at night. But it's like it took me a while to get through school, and it was really hard because I really just wanted to play drums more than anything else. So she supported me a lot during helping with drum lessons and everything, and that's really why I'm able to be a drum teacher now, is because I had serious professional drum lessons, and I studied very hard at it. And to be in that mode again, I'm very, very happy. Like I said, going back to the balance video, it's really all about balance, and having that peace back in my life just makes me feel like a more complete person. And I would not have all this if it wasn't for my mother. My mother really made that possible. So, I mean, both my parents really, but the music career thing is something that, my mom really pushed. She was like really all for it, and loved jazz. My grandfather played a lot of jazz. My abuelo, he played a lot of jazz, so my mom was used to hearing it, and the fact that she hears me playing it, she's like, oh my God, I love it. I love that you're, I wish my dad was here so that you two could talk about jazz music and everything. So anyway, my grandfather passed away, and here's just a little. My grandfather passed away just a little bit before I was born. So I was born in September, and he passed away in July. So, so I just missed him. But luckily, I have Dario, which is my grandmother's new partner. And when I say new, I mean new as in like, I think they started seeing that they were together since I was like a baby. So they're like 4 years old or 5. I think around when I was like 5 years old. So Dario is basically like a grandfather to me. And so alright, a lot of family talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And plus the origin story of my YouTubing, So yeah, there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys dig this Rossology channel name now, and hope it's a little bit less confusing. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Peace!